Her people, the Iwi tribe as well. You know, Gia can do many amazing
The entertainment world has experienced an unusually painful series of losses over the past several days. Some of the performers we are remembering today spent more than half a century appearing on our screens. Others were only beginning to show the world what they could do. They came from different countries, different generations, and completely different areas of the industry. But each of them left behind performances that audiences will continue watching for years to come. For some viewers, these actors were connected to childhood memories. They appeared in films watched repeatedly with family, television programs that became part of weekly routines, and characters that felt almost as familiar as people we knew personally. Others influenced the entertainment industry from behind the scenes, helping performers discover the confidence and emotional honesty needed to create unforgettable roles. In this video, we remember 10 actors and acting world figures whose deaths were reported recently. We will look back at the roles that made them famous, the careers they built, and the impact they left on their colleagues and audiences. This is not simply a list of names and dates, it is a tribute to 10 very different lives connected by the power of performance. We begin with one of the youngest and most heartbreaking losses. American actress Kaylee Hottle died at the age of only 18 following a car crash in Maryland. Huttle was best known for playing Gia in the blockbuster MonsterVerse films Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Although she was still at the beginning of her acting career, she had already become an important and memorable part of one of modern cinema's largest film franchises. Huttle came from a deaf family and used American Sign Language as her first language. In Godzilla vs. Kong, her character Gia was presented as the last known survivor of the Iwi people and shared a unique emotional connection with the giant ape Kong.
Within his world of pain and despair, he discovered the power of love.
Built largely through facial expression, physical movement, and emotional presence. Despite acting opposite enormous computer-generated creatures, she made Gia feel completely real. Her scenes with Kong gave the film much of its emotional weight. Gia did not see Kong simply as a monster. She understood his loneliness, fear, and desire to belong somewhere. Through that relationship, audiences were able to see a gentler and more vulnerable side of the character. Huttle returned for Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, in which Gia's personal story became even more important. The sequel explored her feeling of being disconnected from the world around her and her search for a place where she truly belonged. Her performance was praised for its sincerity and calm emotional strength. Before appearing in the MonsterVerse, she had also appeared on television, and she reportedly had further acting work in development. Her death brought tributes from actors and members of the deaf community who recognized the importance of seeing an authentic young deaf performer in a major Hollywood production. Kaylee Hottle had only been given a few opportunities to appear on screen, but she had already reached millions of viewers around the world. Her death at such a young age is a reminder that a performer does not need decades of credits to make a lasting impression. Through Gia, she gave young deaf viewers a character who was brave, intelligent, emotionally powerful, and central to the story rather than existing in the background.
Christy Brown.
Go on, Christy. Go on, make your mark.
Irish actress Brenda died at the age of 81 following a period of ill health. To many American viewers, she will always be remembered as the mysterious pigeon lady who befriended Kevin McAllister in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. However, that beloved performance represented only one part of a remarkable career that included an Academy Award and decades of respected work in film and television. Fricker began acting professionally during the 1960s and gradually became a familiar presence in British and Irish productions. One of her most significant television roles was Nurse Megan Roach in the BBC medical drama Casualty. Her performance helped establish the program during its early years and demonstrated her ability to portray warmth, humor, exhaustion, and compassion without making the character feel overly sentimental. Her international breakthrough came with the 1989 film My Left Foot. Fricker played Bridget Brown, the devoted mother of writer and artist Christy Brown, portrayed by Daniel Day-Lewis. The role required her to commit
one man's tribute to the celebration of life.
The patience and strength of a woman caring for a large working-class family while supporting a son with cerebral palsy. Her performance was powerful precisely because it never appeared designed to attract attention. She portrayed Bridget as practical, loving, protective, and emotionally resilient. For that work, Fricker won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, becoming the first Irish woman to win an acting Oscar. 3 years later, she reached an entirely different audience through Home Alone 2. Her character initially frightened Kevin, appearing silently in Central Park surrounded by pigeons. As the story developed, Kevin discovered that she was not dangerous, but deeply lonely and afraid of being hurt again. Fricker's scenes with Macaulay Culkin added unexpected emotional depth to what was otherwise a fast-moving family comedy. Her conversation with Kevin inside Carnegie Hall became one of the film's most sincere moments. She communicated the sadness of isolation while still allowing the character to retain dignity, humor, and hope. Her other notable credits included The Field, So I Married an Axe Murderer, A Time to Kill, A Man of No Importance, and Cloudburst. Whether she was playing a mother, a nurse, an outsider, or a woman carrying years of private disappointment, Fricker brought honesty to the role. She never needed glamorous costumes or dramatic speeches to command attention. A slight change in her expression could reveal an entire history. Her career showed that deeply human performances can remain in the memories of audiences long after more spectacular scenes have faded.
Official, and it was just generally funny, one laugh after another all the time.
Actor Hal Williams died at the age of 91. Over a career lasting more than 5 decades, Williams became one of television's most recognizable supporting performers. He was never limited to a single kind of character. He could portray authority, frustration, warmth, comedy, and quiet dignity, often within the same performance. Many viewers first became familiar with him through Sanford and Son, where he played Police Officer Smith, commonly known as Smitty. Appearing alongside Howard Platt's Officer Hoppy, Smitty frequently found himself dealing with the unpredictable behavior of Fred Sanford. Williams understood exactly how to perform within the show's comedy. Instead of trying to overpower Red Fox's energetic style, he gave Smitty a more controlled personality. His reactions, pauses, and expressions often made the scenes funnier because he appeared like a reasonable man trapped inside an unreasonable situation. He later became widely known for portraying Lester Jenkins in the sitcom 227. Lester was the husband of Marla Gibbs's character, Mary Jenkins, and the father of their daughter Brenda. Williams brought stability to the program, making Lester a believable working husband and father rather than a collection of sitcom stereotypes. The relationship between Lester and Mary felt convincing because Williams and Gibbs allowed the characters to disagree, tease each other, become frustrated, and still show genuine affection. Their family dynamic helped make 227 one of the notable African-American sitcoms of the 1980s. Williams also appeared in the television series Private Benjamin and its original film version. His wider credits included appearances in productions such as Roots, The Next Generations, The Waltons, Good Times, The Sinbad Show, Guess Who, and numerous police dramas, comedies, and family programs. His work carried additional importance because he built his career during a period when opportunities for black actors were frequently limited. Williams consistently portrayed characters who had professions, families, responsibilities, and fully developed personalities. He became the kind of actor audiences trusted immediately. Even when he appeared for only a few minutes, viewers understood the character because Williams knew how to establish personality quickly and naturally. His career may not always have placed him at the center of promotional posters, but his presence strengthened nearly every production in which he appeared. Hal Williams leaves behind generations of television viewers who may not have known every detail of his life, but instantly recognized his face, voice, and calm command of a scene.
You've hardened. For the first time, you look...
New Zealand actor Sam Neill died at the age of 78 after pneumonia. His passing caused an enormous reaction around the world because Neill had built one of the most varied and respected careers of his generation. For millions of viewers, he will always be Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park. Grant was a paleontologist who understood dinosaurs intellectually but was completely unprepared to encounter living ones. Neill played him as intelligent, cautious, sarcastic, and uncomfortable around children. What made the performance memorable was the way the character gradually changed. After becoming responsible for protecting Lex and Tim, Grant developed a more caring side without losing the personality established earlier in the film. His first reaction to seeing a living dinosaur remains one of the most recognizable moments in modern blockbuster cinema. Neill returned as Grant in Jurassic Park 3 and later appeared in Jurassic World Dominion. His return connected several generations of fans and reminded audiences that his performance had been as essential to the original film as its groundbreaking visual effects. However, Neill's career extended far beyond Jurassic Park. In Jane Campion's The Piano, he portrayed Alastair Stewart, a controlling landowner whose relationship with his wife gradually becomes destructive. It was an uncomfortable and complicated performance that demonstrated his willingness to play deeply flawed characters. In Event Horizon, Neill played Dr. William Weir, the designer of a spacecraft that returns after disappearing into another dimension. As the film becomes increasingly horrifying, Weir changes from a grieving scientist into something far more sinister. Neill's intense performance contributed significantly to the film's later reputation as a cult classic. He also appeared in Dead Calm, A Cry in the Dark, The Hunt for Red October, The Dish, Hunt for the Wilder People, and numerous other films. On television, he portrayed Major Chester Campbell in Peaky Blinders, bringing authority and menace to the role. Neill had previously spoken publicly about being diagnosed with a rare form of blood cancer. He wrote openly about his illness, memories, family, and career in his memoir, Did I Ever Tell You This? Even while receiving treatment, he continued acting and reportedly completed several projects during the final period of his life. Away from the screen, he was known for his humor, his vineyard, his affection for animals, and the playful videos he shared with followers. That relaxed public personality was very different from many of the intense or intimidating men he portrayed. Sam Neill could lead a giant Hollywood adventure, strengthen a quiet, independent drama, or make a supporting television character unforgettable. His performances rarely felt forced. He appeared to think and react as the character rather than simply delivering dialogue. His death represents the loss of an actor whose work connected prestige cinema, cult horror, television drama, comedy, and some of the largest blockbusters ever produced.
Them to deliver their criticism in the form of a praise sandwich. And that's where
American actor Josh Grisetti died at the age of 44. His death was especially shocking to members of the theater community, where he had earned a reputation as a gifted comic performer with exceptional timing, vocal ability, and stage presence. Grisetti worked extensively on Broadway and in regional theater. One of his best-known stage performances came in the musical Something Rotten, a comedy about two playwright brothers attempting to compete with William Shakespeare. Grisetti played Nigel Bottom, the more sensitive and poetic of the two brothers. While the show contained large musical numbers and exaggerated comedy, Grisetti gave Nigel an emotional sincerity that helped ground the story. He made the character awkward, romantic, idealistic, and genuinely sympathetic. He also appeared in Broadway productions including It Should Have Been You and Neil Simon's Broadway Bound. His stage work earned admiration because he could move easily between broad comedy and more vulnerable dramatic moments. Television audiences may remember him from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, in which he played Ralph, a writer working behind the scenes in the world of television comedy. The series was known for its rapid dialogue and highly controlled performances, making Grisetti's natural comic rhythm particularly valuable. He also accumulated appearances in other television productions and continued working across stage and screen. Fellow performers remembered not only his talent, but also his generosity, enthusiasm, and support for other actors. Theater careers are sometimes difficult to preserve in the public imagination because many performances are never professionally recorded. An actor can deliver extraordinary work 8 times a week in front of live audiences, yet people outside that theater may never see it. Grisetti's legacy therefore survives strongly in the memories of the performers who shared stages with him and the audience members who witnessed his work in person. At only 44, he appeared to have many more characters left to create. His death removed a performer who understood that comedy was not merely about delivering a funny line. It depended on rhythm, listening, physical control, emotional commitment, and the willingness to make a character appear completely serious even when the situation was absurd. American actor Scott Bryce died at the age of 68 following a battle with stomach and esophageal cancer. He was best known for portraying Craig Montgomery on the long-running soap opera As the World Turns. Bryce first joined the program during the early 1980s. Craig became one of the show's most complicated personalities, moving between romance, ambition, manipulation, and genuine vulnerability. Daytime drama requires a particular kind of discipline. Actors must perform enormous amounts of dialogue, maintain emotional continuity across rapidly produced episodes, and keep characters interesting through storylines that may continue for years. Bryce possessed the confidence and charisma necessary for that environment. He played Craig during several separate periods, returning to the character as the program's stories and relationships
Musical chairs! Oh my God, no, I went to Yale.
evolved. His performance earned Daytime Emmy nominations and made him permanently associated with one of American television's longest-running dramas. Beyond As the World Turns, Bryce appeared in numerous television programs, films, and stage productions. His credits included appearances in Murphy Brown, Sex and the City, Law and Order, ER, The Good Wife, and Homeland. He was also an experienced director and performer in theater. That background helped explain the precision of his television work. He understood dialogue, movement, pacing, and how to reveal a character's intentions even when the script required ambiguity. Following his death, his son Jackson described his father's courage during his illness and emphasized how important family had been to him. Colleagues remembered Bryce as intelligent, kind, humorous, and supportive. Soap opera actors sometimes become so closely connected with one role that viewers feel they have known them personally for decades. They are present in living rooms several times a week, accompanying audiences through different periods of their own lives. For As the World Turns viewers, Scott Bryce was part of that continuing relationship. Craig Montgomery could be charming in one storyline and infuriating in another, but Bryce ensured that the character remained compelling. His legacy belongs not only to the history of daytime television, but also to the actors he encouraged and the family he considered his greatest achievement.
Vincent was terrific to work with, and he, I got to speak Chinese with him.
Hong Kong-born actress Wai Ching Ho died at the age of 82. Modern television audiences knew her best as Madame Gao in Marvel's interconnected television series Daredevil, Iron Fist, and The Defenders. Madame Gao was mysterious from the moment she appeared. She spoke quietly, rarely showed fear, and seemed to understand far more than the other characters around her. Ho did not rely on shouting or exaggerated movement to make the character threatening. Her stillness became her greatest source of power. In Daredevil, Gao operated as a criminal leader involved in the struggle for control of Hell's Kitchen. Although she appeared physically unassuming, the series gradually revealed that she possessed extraordinary strength and connections to ancient organizations. Ho made every line feel as though it contained a hidden warning. Even when Madame Gao appeared polite, viewers sensed that she was evaluating everyone in the room and deciding whether they remained useful. She returned in Iron Fist, where the character's connections to the Hand and the wider mythology of the Marvel television universe became more significant. She later appeared in The Defenders, helping connect several separate series. Before reaching a global superhero audience, Ho had worked for many years across theater, television, and film. Her credits included appearances in productions such as Law and Order, Orange is the New Black, Elementary, Awkwafina is Nora from Queens, and several feature films. Like many accomplished character performers, she often entered a story for a limited amount of time, but created the impression that her character had lived an entire life before the scene began. Her portrayal of Madame Gao also challenged conventional assumptions about who could represent danger and authority on screen. She was not physically presented like a traditional action villain, but she could control a scene filled with younger and larger performers simply through her voice and presence. Wai Ching Ho's work showed that power in acting does not always come from volume. Sometimes the quietest performer in a scene is the one audiences cannot stop watching. American actor Peter Van Norden died at the age of 75 while receiving hospice care in Southern California. He built a long career as a dependable film, television, and theater performer. Many comedy fans remember him as Officer Vinnie Stolman in Police Academy 2, Their First Assignment. The Police Academy films depended on an ensemble of performers playing distinctive personalities, and Van Norden contributed to the chaotic comic environment of the sequel. He also appeared in the acclaimed 1988 drama The Accused, starring Jodie Foster and Kelly McGillis. The film addressed difficult subject matter and required its supporting performers to contribute to a serious and emotionally intense atmosphere. Television viewers may recognize him from the 1994 adaptation of Stephen King's The Stand. Throughout his career, he appeared in many other productions, moving comfortably between comedy, drama, and genre entertainment. Van Norden also possessed extensive theatrical experience. Stage acting remained an important part of his professional life, giving him opportunities to perform classical and modern material in front of live audiences. Actors such as Van Norden are essential to the entertainment industry. They may not always receive celebrity-level publicity, but they give fictional worlds credibility. A police officer, lawyer, official, neighbor, or family member must feel real for the leading character's story to work. Van Norden understood how to serve the larger production without disappearing inside it. He could make a supporting character memorable without distracting audiences from the central narrative. His career continued for decades, demonstrating both adaptability and professional endurance. He worked through major changes in film, television, and theater while maintaining the respect of colleagues. Peter Van Norden leaves behind a body of work that reaches across genres and generations. Some viewers will remember a comic performance, others a serious dramatic role, and many will recognize him as one of those reliable faces who made countless stories feel complete. American actor Randolph Mantooth died at the age of 80 following a long illness. He was best known for portraying firefighter-paramedic John Gage in the influential television series Emergency. The program premiered in 1972 and followed firefighters and paramedics working in Los Angeles County. Mantooth's John Gage worked alongside Kevin Tighe's Roy DeSoto, with the two responding to accidents, medical emergencies, fires, and other dangerous situations. Emergency was more than a conventional television drama. It arrived when paramedic services were still developing in many parts of the United States. By showing trained emergency personnel providing medical treatment before patients reached hospital, the series helped audiences understand the value of modern emergency medical systems. Mantooth became closely connected with real firefighters, paramedics, nurses, emergency doctors, and first responders. After the series ended, he continued supporting and advocating for the emergency services community. John Gage was energetic, humorous, and sometimes impulsive, while Roy DeSoto was generally calmer and more settled. The friendship between the two characters became the center of the program. Mantooth's performance made the technical aspects of emergency response accessible. Viewers believed that Gage cared about the people he was helping, even while the program maintained the pace and excitement required for television. He later appeared in numerous other programs, including soap operas such as Loving, The City, and One Life to Live. He also returned to the Emergency universe in television films and remained involved with events celebrating the program's legacy. For many first responders, Mantooth was more than an actor who wore a uniform on television. He became a genuine supporter of their profession. He used the recognition created by the show to promote safety, education, and appreciation for emergency personnel. Few actors have the opportunity to play a character who influences how the public understands an entire profession. Emergency reportedly inspired some viewers to pursue careers as firefighters, paramedics, and medical workers. Randolph Mantooth's legacy, therefore, exists both on screen and in the real emergency services community. Through John Gage, he entertained audiences, encouraged respect for first responders, and became part of the history of paramedicine in popular culture. Our final tribute is to American acting coach and performer John Kirby, who died at the age of 75 after living with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, commonly known as ALS. Kirby was the son of actor Bruce Kirby and the brother of actor Bruno Kirby, who appeared in films including When Harry Met Sally, City Slickers, and The Godfather Part 2. However, John Kirby established his own extraordinary legacy away from the spotlight by helping other actors develop their abilities. During a coaching career spanning approximately 5 decades, he worked with performers at different stages of their professional journeys. His clients reportedly included established stars as well as actors preparing for auditions, emotionally demanding scenes, and career-defining roles. Acting coaches occupy a unique position in the entertainment industry. Their most important work may become visible on screen, but their own contribution usually remains invisible to the audience. They help performers understand characters, remove habits that weaken a scene, access difficult emotions, and become confident enough to take creative risks. Kirby worked on or around major film and television productions and became known for treating actors with unusual care. He was reportedly described as an actor's guardian angel, a phrase reflecting the emotional support he provided in addition to technical guidance. Acting can be a profession filled with rejection, pressure and insecurity. A successful coach must understand not only performance, but also the psychology of the performer. Kirby's influence was demonstrated by the number of actors who publicly expressed gratitude after his death. He reportedly lived for more than 3 years after initially receiving a much shorter prognosis following his ALS diagnosis. During that period, he continued to inspire the people around him through his resilience and determination. Although John Kirby was not as recognizable to the general public as the major film and television stars he assisted, his impact can be found in performances watched by millions. Every actor he helped carried part of his teaching into auditions, rehearsals, stage productions, and film sets. His story reminds us that entertainment history is not created only by the people whose names appear above the title. It is also shaped by teachers, coaches, writers, crew members, and mentors whose guidance allows performers to reach their full potential. Over the past several days, the acting world has lost individuals at completely different stages of life and career. Kaylee Hottle was only beginning her journey, yet she had already given young deaf viewers meaningful representation in a global film franchise. Brenda and Sam Neill built internationally admired careers filled with award-winning dramas, beloved family films, and blockbuster adventures. Hal Williams helped generations of television audiences see believable black families, professionals, and authority figures during a changing period in American entertainment. Josh Grisetti brought intelligence and emotional sincerity to comedy on stage and screen. Bryce became part of the daily lives of soap opera viewers who followed his character for decades. Wai Ching Ho proved that stillness and control could make a villain more intimidating than physical spectacle. Peter Van Norden strengthened countless productions through the skill and reliability of a dedicated character actor. Randolph Mantooth helped popularize the work of paramedics while becoming a lifelong supporter of first responders. John Kirby shaped performances from behind the scenes and provided actors with guidance that extended far beyond individual roles. Their careers were not equal in length, and their paths through the industry were very different. Some became known around the world. Others were most deeply appreciated by theater audiences, daytime television viewers, fellow actors, or specific professional communities. However, each of them contributed something that will continue after their death. A film can be watched again. A television character can be rediscovered by a new generation. A stage performance can remain permanently alive in the memory of someone who witnessed it. A lesson given privately to an actor can influence every performance that actor later creates. That is one of the remarkable things about the acting profession. The performer eventually leaves the stage, but the emotions created through the performance can remain with audiences indefinitely. We extend our condolences to the families, friends, colleagues, and admirers of everyone remembered in this video. Which of these performers had the greatest impact on you, and which role will you always remember them for? Share your memories respectfully in the comments. Thank you for watching, and may they all rest in peace.